So I was at a Chamber of Commerce lunch yesterday in Cairns, and somebody asked me if I was going to repeat running a workshop which I ran back in February for the Chamber members. It was my Summit Thinking workshop, and it was really around getting that clarity of vision and a couple of my other core catalysts in a workshop format. Now, as you know, I run a quarterly pause and reset for free, and next year I am thinking to actually run more public workshops rather than just within organizations, so that we have that space, particularly at this midpoint of the year, to reset, because it's so important. But because it is the 1st of July, what I thought that I would do is have a look at what some of the leadership trends that have come out so far this year are. And as my dog is sniffing here, if you're watching the video, I'm taking the dog for a walk down in a beautiful Redlinch Valley, which is quite near where we live in Cairns. But anyway, I digress. I wanted to go into the leadership trends. Now, I know some of the trends that I am seeing. I know what I read about. I know what other leadership coaches are talking about. I know what people are talking to me about. I know what I experience as a business owner, as a mentor of other business owners. But what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd ask ChatGPT what the top trends are of this year so far, compared with, say, 2022 and 2024. Now, we all know that AI has sycophant tendencies, so I would love to hear from you what it tells you about the top leadership trends. But it tells me that it's not pandering to me. And here's what some of the trends are. We've moved away from just AI taking our jobs to actually increasing that human experience, and really needing to rely on human potential, on human thought, and on what we as human beings can do best. And this potential piece is 100% my jam. So I see that there's still a role for our traditional leadership coaching. I do things like DISC Advanced and communication and so on. But there's a bigger role around potential and how we continually stop ourselves from being overwhelmed all the time. The second piece is the organizations who are going to move forward are going to be the ones who are most agile. So the people that can move forward with a plan without waiting for it to be perfect. If we constantly keep waiting for things to be perfect, we're actually just going to get left behind. The third piece of the coin is actually around trust and transparency. So it is around, got another dog coming, so I will walk back this way. It is around how we can invoke more trust within our people, how we can be transparent as leaders, how we can communicate, how we can consistently keep bringing our people back to that core vision. And that vision and a level of clarity on the vision is actually going to beat motivation as we go forward. So this is something that I do in my own life, that I do in my own work, and I do it consistently. I update my team every week on aspects of our scorecard. You know, we have very regular check-ins, we have values nominations, we have a whole host of things. Do I think we're perfect? No, absolutely not. But what I see in the businesses, the organizations that are thriving, is that people are on board with the vision, and that's so important. And it's so easy to come away from the vision and focus on the noise, on the output you can create with AI, and so on. So how does this compare to what we were talking about a couple of years ago? So there was a lot more conversation before about diversity and inclusion, for example, and that is still super important, particularly in Australia. There are psychosocial safety laws and changes and things that we have to document coming in all the time, and it can be really overwhelming to keep on top of them as a business owner. And one of the preventative factors for some of these things is leadership development. It's getting on board, external consultants. It's getting people to work on time management. It's mitigating some of the many risks that can be seen as psychosocial risk factors within your workplace. Another trend we've probably moved away from talking about, thank goodness, the hustle culture seems to be dead. And the resilience now is really about human performance and how we design the workplace and all of the things that we can actually do to build that muscle ourselves, rather than being a fluffy tacked on well-being conversation, which is something that I really welcome as well. We also have moved away from generative AI being, just the new kid on the block, of course. And we have to look at where this will fit with our organizations and where it won't, while still keeping on track with what our main priorities are for ourselves and our organizations and our role, and making sure that what we're doing aligns with that as much as possible. So there you have it. There's a couple of the leadership trends so far for 2026. I am super excited as we move into the second half of the year. I have been taking a lot of time to look at where my businesses are going, where my training's going, the cool stuff I have for the rest of the year, the people, the dogs I want to spend more time with. And yeah, it's a really good time to pause, reset, and just refocus on where you're going. If you need any help with that, I do encourage you to reach out, and I'll see you tomorrow for more from Endures. Bye.